am so excited for today's video because today's video is the video where I go apartment hunting for my very first one-bedroom apartment in New York fucking City, baby. I'm living alone next year. I'm moving to my own apartment and it's just gonna be me and Mango doing it up, living the life. I've lived in New York for 6 years now. I've lived in 4 different apartments. This will be my 5th apartment, going on my 7th year, and it just feels like the time is right. The time it has come for me to graduate from the time of my life where I lived with other people and move on to the time of my life where I am just living my own life. So I wanted to take you guys along for my apartment hunting journey, let you know what areas I'm looking in, what amenities that I'm looking for, and what my price range is. I'll tell you anything and everything because these videos are boring if you don't know how much the apartments are, I'll say it. So this is your 1-minute recap on everything you need to know and everything that you should be expecting when apartment hunting in New York City. Number 1, New York is expensive. We all know this. New York is one of the most expensive places to live in like the entire world. Are there 1-bedroom apartments cheaper than the ones that I'm gonna be looking at today? Absolutely yes, but for the most part, New York is a very expensive city to live in. It's always gonna seem a little shocking when you hear the prices. 2, the apartment hunting process in New York City moves extremely fast. Once you find an apartment that you like, you have to be ready to act on it basically immediately. So 1, you wanna make sure that you have all of your paperwork together and ready before you start looking at apartments so that you can just throw it right in whenever you find one that's the right fit for you. And also, you shouldn't start looking for your apartment more than 3 weeks in advance because they're gonna want you to move in pretty soon after you find the place. As far as paperwork goes, this is what you're gonna need. A front and back scan of your license, your 2 most recent rent checks, your 2 most recent pay stubs, your 2 or 3 most recent bank statements, and your income tax return for the previous year. Sometimes they ask for a recommendation letter from your previous landlord. That's only happened to me once, but it's possible. And if you're going to be using a guarantor, the guarantor is also gonna have to provide all of the paperwork that I just listed out for themselves as well. Lastly, my biggest piece of advice to literally anyone going on apartment hunts in New York City is just to keep your shit organized. I made an apartment hunting Google Sheets template that you can copy and use to organize your apartment hunts. I'll link it down below. Keep track of everything, rank everything, take notes. Be detailed, okay? This is where you're gonna live. This is where you're gonna pay thousands of dollars to live. So you better like it. Okay, so let's get into the good stuff. Where am I looking? What am I looking for? So obviously I'm looking for a 1-bedroom apartment. I wanna stay along the same train lines. So I was looking at places in Williamsburg, Bushwick, Bed-Stuy area. All my friends live up here in this side of Brooklyn. I moved up here from Flatbush last year and I just wanna stay in the area because it's easier for me because everyone I fucking know lives around here. The apartment needs to be pet friendly because obviously I have a tiny little gorgeous model cat named Mango. I want the apartment to have all of the amenities that I currently have and then some. I don't want to downgrade at all. So that means I'm looking for a place with a dishwasher and a place that has either laundry in unit or laundry in building. There is no chance of me going back to laundromat life. You cannot convince me to do it. I won't do it. And I also really want to have a large living room area so that I can 1, get a sectional couch, and 2, move my desk out of my bedroom and put it in the living room and have like a living room and office space outside of my bedroom because I just feel like I want to have like relaxing space and then like working, socializing space and separate the two so I can really just get that 2021 zen going on, you know? So those are like all of my necessities. Those are the things that I am not going to bend on, that I need in this apartment, that I will not move to a place if it doesn't have all of those things. The things that would just be nice or that I would compromise on is I would love a balcony or like some sort of private outdoor space. If there was a large furnished rooftop, I would also settle for that because it's like, I mean, same fucking thing, right? I'd also ideally want an apartment that faces either south, east, or west so that sunlight is pretty good. Obviously, I spend most of my life filming. My day job, I'm on camera a lot, and obviously for YouTube, I'm on camera all the time. So I would love to live in a place that has lots of natural sunlight. This is something I'm willing to sort of bend on depending on the spot, because obviously if you face north but you're on like a ground floor apartment, it's gonna be different than if you face north and you're on like a high floor apartment and you get sort of more like diffused indirect light rather than like it's just fucking dark in here. Obviously I want the place to fit sort of my aesthetic preferences. It would be nice to have a gym in building as well as some sort of doorman or security going on. I would just definitely feel better being a young woman living alone to live in a building that is very safe and secure. So those are all of the things that I'm looking for, and the price range that I'm looking to stay within is between like $1,750 a month and $2,500 a month. Finding something on the lower half of that scale would be nice, but I am looking for a very specific apartment with a lot of amenities, so I'm prepared to spend a little more. So without further ado, let's get into the apartment hunting, baby. These are all of my eligible bachelors. These are all of the apartments that are up for winning my love, and by love I mean my money. So the first apartment I saw was priced at $2,250 a month. Some of the pros to this apartment was that it had rooftop access. It wasn't furnished or anything, but you could bring your own chairs up there and sit on it. Basically like any other roof in New York, but sometimes they're blocked off. I've lived in an apartment where the roof was blocked off before. So anyways, it had access to the roof. There was laundry and building, there was a gym, there was like an office space down on the bottom floor that you could use, not that I would. And the unit had a private balcony, which was nice, even though it faced another building, so it's not like it was like the world's most luxurious balcony. And the living room was also a really nice size. So those were the pros. The cons were that although the unit was facing south and west, it's also so close to another building that I wouldn't really be getting a ton of sunlight. It would just kind of be blocked. The window in the bedroom was kind of weird and a little small, which I didn't really care about because I'm trying to spend most of my life in the living room, and like, what do I do in my bedroom besides sleep? That's fine. I can have my bedroom be a darker room. But I think the main con for this apartment for me was that there wasn't a lot of bathroom storage space. And I am a skincare baddie. Okay. I currently live in a space where I don't have any bathroom storage, and I am absolutely bursting at the seams with the amount of skincare and body care products that I have. I need bathroom storage, and this was just sort of lacking that. So the next apartment I saw was on the lower end of my budget. It was $1,750 a month. Cool parts about this apartment was that it had a little kitchen island. The living area was a fine size. I wasn't particularly impressed with it, but it had central air. It had a furnished rooftop, laundry and building, a gym, all of the amenities that I was looking for. But this also wasn't a very secure building, and this apartment was on the bottom floor, which I definitely don't want to do. I don't want to live alone on the ground floor and like look out my window to some dude on a sidewalk staring in at me. No ma'am, absolutely not. So this apartment was pretty much out from the second that it was on the ground floor. Not to spoil it. I didn't get this one. So the next apartment I saw was gorgeous. I saw like 4 units in this building. They were all pretty similar. I'm just gonna show you videos of what the best unit was, because there's no use in showing you the units in this building that look insanely similar, but ultimately were shittier than this one. This was the best one. This one was going for $2,400 a month. Pros to this apartment: it's fucking gorgeous. Beautiful windows that get decent light. It's a north-facing building, slightly west, so you get a little bit of sunlight, but you're so high up that it almost doesn't matter. The view is incredible. Breathtaking. This building was newly renovated. There's a rooftop that's like semi-furnished. It's not like a deluxe rooftop, but they've got laundry and building, gym, a big office space in this building. A lot of amenities, and it's a pretty apartment. Now, what were the cons to this apartment? Cons to this apartment mainly was the size for me. It's gorgeous, but it's definitely on the smaller side, and I would have to abandon some of my furniture ideas, which would be fine, but something to consider. And also there was less trains nearby this apartment. So after that, the next apartment that I saw was priced at $2,100. This apartment had great space, pretty great lighting. There is a private balcony, which was great. You can see in the video there's a ton of other private balconies in this building. This building had great amenities. It was one of those like ridiculous buildings that has amenities that you're like, there's no way that I'm ever gonna use this. They had like a coffee shop in the building and like a bar in the building, movie theaters, gym. everything. It was like a little society. It reminded me of that episode of SpongeBob where Squidward moves into like that apartment complex or like little town. It was like that. The main con for this apartment for me was, again, similar to another apartment, not a ton of storage in the bathroom. The other negative about this place is that online, it's got some interesting reviews. A lot of people were saying basically that this building was like very much like a party building, and there's a lot of young people that live here and they're all really fucking loud. But also it's one of those things like you read reviews online and it's like, do I take this to heart? Who's writing this? Like, would I normally take your feedback or no? So it's hard to tell, but worth taking into account that there were several. The next apartment I saw was $1,900 a month. I saw like 4 units in this building and they were all priced exactly the same, but some were significantly better than others. I noticed this with a couple of the buildings. Like, they would show me a ton of units and they'd all be exactly the same price, but there would be one that was like exponentially better and I'd be like, what is going on? This building had a sweet rooftop with like a ton of like private little areas on the rooftop, which was cool. One of the units that I saw had a massive private terrace, but it came at the expense of like your entire living room, which wasn't gonna work for me, but the unit that I'm showing you in this video is like the normal unit in this building. So it has like a tiny little balcony, could definitely vibe out there with your besties. Gym, pet spa, laundry and building, everything that pretty much all the rest of the buildings had as well. The cons to this place were that it was gonna be a tighter squeeze. Again, this was not as much space as I would want, but it's not bad, and also it has the little balcony, which I loved. But the main thing that I hated about this place was the wallpaper in the bathroom. What the hell is that? Then finally, this last apartment is $23.50 a month. And this place was big. This place had the space. And this was another one of those buildings. I saw 1 million units in this building, and this one, same price as all the other ones, but it was like literally like double the size. I was like, Great parts about this unit is aesthetically, this one was totally my favorite. I thought the whole place was super beautiful. I loved how big the windows are. It's got a view of Manhattan. This place does face north, so it doesn't get as much sunlight, which was something that I had been thinking about. This place had a dishwasher. A lot of them had dishwashers. I don't know why this is the first one that I'm mentioning, and I'm pretty sure all of the places that I've looked at had dishwashers. And this building had hella amenities, kind of similar to the one that was like Squidward's town, but like toned down, right? Because who needs all that? Really nice furnished rooftop. This building had a doorman, gym, laundry and building. Also, the Wi-Fi is included in the rent in this place, which was nice, because otherwise that's just an additional expense that I have to pay. But the main drawback to this apartment was definitely the north-facing windows and being a little concerned on how much light I was gonna get. I saw this apartment, I took this video at like 7:20 p.m. So the sun has already gone down and I didn't really get to see what the light was going to be like during the day. I can assume it's not fantastic since it faces north, but also those are huge windows. So, who knows, you know? I don't know. Not me. I don't fucking know. So which apartment did I pick? Drum roll, please. I picked apartment number 6. I'm so fucking excited to move and to live in this apartment. It is so beautiful. It checks so many of my boxes, and I just know that Mango is gonna have the time of her life having all of those windows to look out of. This is the last video you'll ever see in this apartment. This is the last video that I pre-filmed. So next week's video is going to be my first video in my new place. What the fuck? I'm so excited to live in my own space. I feel so fucking grateful that I'm able to make the jump to living on my own, to be able to afford to do this at 24 years old. Like, it's fucking crazy. You guys better be watching my fucking ads. That's all I have to say. But I'm super ready for this. I'm super diligent about tracking my spending and about saving, and I've known that I was ready for this for a couple months now, and I'm just so excited to finally make the jump, to move on to this next stage of my life. And I'm just so grateful for it, so excited for it, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, as well as turning my notifications on so you never miss an upload from me. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
crying little.